And welcome to the Maroons Broadcast Network from beautiful Amos Alonzo Stagg Field in Chicago, Illinois. Alex Reed alongside Sergio Venegas, and down on the field, Evan Lotz, with our great executive producer, Eric Willowhite, manning the controls. Well, this is win or go home time for both of these teams. They played yesterday. Chicago Maroons beat Lake Forest 6-2. That was quite a great game for the University of Chicago, convincing win. But on the other side, the Capital University Spartans, they played a Crusaders. They played a game against Dominican, won 2-0, but it was quite a physical game. As 2-1 double overtime. It was quite a good game. What did you get to see from that match?
Well, today is going to be so hard game because, like you say, winning or go home for both teams. So I expecting it's going to be more physical because you don't want to go home, right? And I expect that the Maroons will be scoring at least 4 goals. Last time that I broadcast with you, you almost closer to the board than I was. But it's going to be a tough defensive by the Crusaders, and we're going to start taking to you this game.
Yeah, we're going to send it down to Evan Lotz for a quick sideline update. Evan?
Guys, and if you take a look at the weather here, 39 degrees, wind is not really much of a factor down here. So you can see the flag far out there is just ever so moving north to south. Wind's not going to be too much of a factor tonight. Turf conditions here on the field, little slippery, could make for a big impact towards the rest of the game.
All right, thank you for your sideline report. He'll be down field side all night to show us the action. And we are underway here in Chicago, Illinois at Stagg Field. The Chicago Maroons are donning their all-white with maroon numbers, maroon trim. The Capital University Crusaders are donning their navy blue and white numbers with white trim.
Actually, I think is gray. I think there are green. It looks green. You know what that uniform reminds to me like the Bayern Munich from 90, 80.
Almost a gray, yeah.
Yeah, and the socks is purple. So in some time they were like that, those colors.
Yeah, and the goalie for the Crusaders, Niswanger, is donning his yellow, as well as Aaron Katzimpalis is donning his green.
The Maroons are attacking from right to left, and the Crusaders left to right.
Ball works its way near side. That's Isaiah Holquist. He delivers a deep ball in, looking for Adeosun. But the Crusaders recover it at around midfield. Its way back line. Played up by Zumponi.
We must be following number 9, Max Lopez, right? He's the key player from the Maroons, and I think he's going to have a tremendous game. He's going to show you what are the skills. He's so good on that.
He's very important for the Chicago Maroons to get a victory. He's going to need to have a big performance. As the ball works its way right into the box, but well played by the back line of the Maroons, and the Maroons are counterattacking.
There is Lopez.
That's Max Lopez. And he delivers that ball way out to the far side. And they're looking to counterattack, the Maroons are. Slow it down and delivers a ball deep into the box to Adeosun. That ball taken away by the Crusaders and played out wide, so that'll be a throw-in for the Chicago Maroons.
You know something? The turf is going to be a factor because it's wet and the ball is going to slippery, so it will run so fast than used to be. And when the ball's bounce, you don't know how it's going to react.
And Isaiah Holquist delivers a ball into the box, played out skillfully by the back line of the Crusaders. And that ball popped up, but that will be handled by Niswanger. And Niswanger will slow it down. So you expect a very physical game here this evening. I think this could be a lot of fun to watch as the temperature is kind of cold, but this rivalry is definitely going to be hot here. Both teams are definitely going to be attacking each other and looking to strike early.
And both teams have the same formation, 4-4-2. And the difference between the Crusaders and the Maroons is the Crusaders have a Rumbo in the middle that gives you a little more advantage to control midfield. So for me, the more important part is the midfield. And I see Max Lopez is taking control of the midfield, feed him to the strikers, and if they have a good chance to feed them and give you the advantage to get a breakaway, that will be the first goal of the night.
And speaking of breakaway, there's Adeosun playing that ball up, and no call there as I believe that was Adeosun over there on the far side. Matthew Coe is over there on the right wing, and that ball is taken up by Holquist. Holquist delivers that one over to Carter Romero. Romero with the deep ball into the box, but nobody home for the Maroons, so that ball will roll all the way back, played by the defense, and that will be a throw-in for the Crusaders. 40-44 left to go in this first half. No score is your game from Stagfield.
You know something? The only player is not wearing gloves from the Crusaders is number 9, Huey Gordon. That is strange. The weather is a little cold for not wearing gloves. So let's see how that could be affect when they throw in the ball. Just him. The rest, they're wearing gloves.
Was it really tough playing in this kind of weather? I know you played for quite a while. Did you ever play in this kind of weather?
This is what it happens. You feel comfortable, but you don't think the turf is going to be a trouble because it's not natural grass, it's artificial, and it's wet. So the spikes will be stuck, and you have tied the muscles. So your mind says, I want to move to the right, but your muscle says, no, I will not move it. So that got to make you an injury on thinking twice any move or any dribble inside or outside. So let's see how they perform.
Yeah, so you definitely have to be very careful as that ball kicked away by Niswanger. And the Maroons will recover for just a second. Taken up by number 5, Brandon Wu. And that'll be kicked back to Cole Moskovic. Moskovic will play that one deep in for the Crusaders. And a little bit of a scrum at midfield, one out by the Crusaders. And they're looking to attack on the far side. Jamie Robinson works that way near side, and great move there by Wesley Coleman. Coleman with the ball into the box, but nobody home, so Katzenpalas will just throw that one out to Isaiah Holquist, and that one will be booted deep. Max Lopez recovered that one and works its way over to Carter Romero.
But you see how he controls the ball with the inside of the boot and just kill the ball perfectly and just give it the pass back. That is the skills. You can learn that if you don't have the skills. And that, I think both numbers 9s for both teams are the most skilled. You saw how they just left the ball and tried to pass it from the back. Unfortunately, the defense just hit it.
Yeah, that'll be a foul on the Crusaders. So a free kick, an offsides will be assessed. A ball will be played out far side for the Maroons, and the Maroons are looking to attack. Pass was intended for Adeosun, but couldn't quite make it through, and
it's a little fall. Maybe they just push from behind. Actually, that is always happening when the ball is up. You try to get the position and just push it to the front just a little bit, and you respond as a striker, just maybe trying to grab something. I couldn't see what happened, but it's a fall over there.
Yeah. Nonetheless, it'll be a free kick for Niswanger. Deep, played out by the Maroons, though, and they looked like they had it recovered for a second. They kicked it up deep, but, that's a turnover, and Max Lopez will take that one away, and looks like he was trying to pass it up, but a foul will be assessed to the Crusaders. So it'll be a free kick for the Maroons, who are looking to strike first here at Stagfield. 37-18 left to go in the first half. Alex Reed alongside Sergio Venegas, and Evan Lotz is down field side. Nice kick in deep by Capitosto. And that ball played in, headed in, but Justin Neiswanger with a really nice play. Just to kick that one.
You know what is
he'll
funny?
clear that.
The strategy is supposed to be not playing on the ground, just over or by the sky, but they are playing by the ground. Because, see, any mistake is so much easy with the bounce or slippery or fell down, and you should be trying to play over, not down. Well, that's what they told me when I used to play.
Do you think it's true, or?
Well, it is. It makes them so much easy because sometimes the ball stop it for the weather is still stink, and I like the way they're now moving. But let's see how it goes. I've been playing this a long time, so
Ball's controlled by Holquist, and he played that one in. He was looking for Carter Romero on the near side, but taken away by the Crusaders. But the Maroons will recover at about midfield. That one, Capitosto plays that one all the way far side, looking to strike. Lopez in. That's Andre Abedian, and Abedian delivers a ball across. Maroons are kind of playing catch right now, as that one will pop into Daleson and played up for Max Lopez. He was looking for Carter Romero in the box, and Lopez once again tried to pop that one into the box, but deflected off of the Crusaders. Played in once again, and that one will deflect and ricochet out of bounds. So it'll be a goal kick, or a corner kick, rather. Excuse me.
You know what is funny?
For the Maroons.
They're going to send the ball to the first post. Somebody's going to hit it to make another pass, and maybe somebody's going to be remet with the head, with the forehead. And that could be the first goal of the evening, of the night.
So the kick is away, and it's a high kick.
Ooh.
Great play by the goalie, Neiswanger, for the Crusaders. Grabbed that one out of the air to mitigate the danger, and he will kick that one away.
Ooh.
It's a booming kick past midfield, headed out by Capitosto, but recovered by the Crusaders, and the Crusaders near middle field. They send that one in deeper to about midfield, but the Maroons will take that one away. Looking for Carter Romero. Romero's got it, and he's looking for Adeosun. And Adeosun dances with it a little bit. Carter Romero with a nice touch, and great idea there from Carter Romero just to touch that one up to himself and attack. It looks like that'll be a throw-in for the Maroons, but fine play there from the Maroons to get on the attack.
Yeah, they give it and deliver it once again, and they try to do an out pass. Unfortunately for him, the ball's running a little left, and now the Crusaders will have a booted.
So it'll be a goal kick for Neiswanger and the Crusaders, as the field, or all the players move to about the middle of the field. That kick high up in the air, headed up a couple of times. So Max Lopez will take it, and he passes up to Adeosun. Adeosun with a nice runner into the box, and he kicks that one away, but great stop there by Neiswanger. Good idea there from Adeosun to put that one at the goalie, try to test the goalie and see if he can make an easy save.
Actually, that is what I'm requesting. Like, they start testing the ball goalkeepers, because with these weather conditions, the balls can make you an exchange, and that will be the first goal. And shooting from outside of the box, like the 25 or 10, 15 yard, it will be test the skills of the goalkeepers, and I like that. I really like that. Let's see how they continue doing that. And they have a substitution over there from the team.
That'll be number 14, Trevor Collins.
For the Crusaders.
For the Crusaders.
Doesn't like it to the coach. And they're gonna do the adjustments. Let's see if the Maroons.
Well, maybe he kind of likes that quick change, as that ball's played in for Max Lopez, headed away skillfully by the Crusaders, and it's a little bit of a head match. The ball ricochets off a couple, and possession hasn't quite been established. It has now. Capitosto will deliver that one all the way near side to Isaiah Holquist. And Holquist will dance around a little bit. Holquist, the ball in, but kicked away, and it ricocheted a couple times off of the Crusaders, but that one will be played out.
Oh.
Looks like a little collision there at the near side, but one out by the Crusaders, and they play that ball deep. Capitosto is there, as well as, that's number 19, Luke Moraes. And that ball will be a throw-in for the Maroons, last off of Moraes and the Crusaders.
So number 10 from the Crusaders has a casket on their left hand.
You think he's playing with a broken hand?
Maybe a wrist. I will play it. I wouldn't want to miss these kind of matches.
Yeah, I mean this is win or go home. So this is very end, and
they call it a throw in. See, number 10.
Yeah,
I think is he got a casket. And checking in, number 14. Checking out, I think is number.
And Trevor Collins is coming into the game for number 19, Luke Moraes. So Moraes will sit early. 30 minutes and 58 seconds left to go in the first half. Still 0-0. Your score from Stag Field in Chicago, Illinois, on the Maroons Broadcast Network. This will be a throw-in for the Crusaders, who are taking on the University of Chicago Maroons.
You can see on the bench of the Crusaders there is 5 players warming up. And the Maroons, there is nobody stand up and warming. Oh.
And that ball turned over, taken away by the Crusaders, but will ricochet off of a Maroon. So it will be a throw-in for the Crusaders on the far side of the field.
With the time going off, the both teams feel more comfortable on the tarmac, well, on the field, and they're going to have more confidence. Like, look, he's going to throw in deep. How much is he taking a space to throw in? Oh my God.
Quite a way, as it turns out. And he gets about 10 steps headed out. And that one played out. So it'll be another throw-in for the Crusaders.
He's going to do the same, so watch out because it's going to be long.
It's a long throw indeed.
Oh.
And headed out once again by the Maroons. And as they look to counterattack, that one played up deep for Matthew Coe, but taken away by the Crusaders for a second. Adeosun recovers the ball at about midfield, and he's looking to set up a counterattack. And that ball played in deep for Carter Romero.
Oh.
But kind of a nasty little ball that kind of fell off. Great save there from Niswanger, and he'll just slow the ball down. Slow the game down a little bit.
It was a good intention, bad performance. But finally, Maroons is showing they're going to take over control of the Crusaders so far. And only the mistake is going to tell us who's going to win this game because they are so even.
That ball fell off of Adeosun's foot, so the Crusaders will recover as they look to set up offense. Played a ball in deep, but well played by Capitosto. As the Maroons looked across midfield, and a nice touch to himself. Matthew Coe's on the run. He's streaking towards the box. Beautiful shot, and he just did miss far post. What a nice play from Matthew Coe.
And he showed he has some legs to do, and look it. I was expecting they shoot it early instead of waiting more, but he was a little afraid because the defender was closing the angle, and the goalkeeper remains stuck and waiting what he's going to do. So they somebody touched it. I think it was the defense.
I believe it was deflected. It will be a corner kick for the Maroons, and that kick is up. And kind of a 50-50 ball. And Matthew Coe will recover it, and he'll shoot a high ball.
3 points.
I don't think he wanted to kick it quite that high, but nonetheless, it will be a free goal kick for Niswanger.
Yeah, but they're knocking so hard, the Maroons. And what happened? Like in 2 minutes, they have 2 good opportunities. Let's see if they can push it far and score first.
And both were created by Matthew Coe. He really facilitated a lot of the offensive attack as the Crusaders look to create their own attack. Ball ricocheted around a little bit off of the Maroons. Recovered by the Crusaders. That's Brandon Wu. Kick that to the back line. Still far side. They'll kick it back behind. Work the ball over to the near side. That'll be a nice kick in there from Wesley Coleman. But recovered by Katzimpoulos. So Katzimpoulos will throw it in. He'll throw that into Sam Drablos.
You know, I was expecting that Lopez score because he scored 35 goals over the 3 years, which marks 4 in the program of the history. So I was expecting he'd take the league, step in and say, I'm going to score first. But he's becoming like the guy that fits the balls and make it easy to going through. And now there is a little collision. They call it a foul. Yeah. Well, it's questionable because they touched the ball, and when they step the foot, they hit the other player. So
it's really a judgment call at that point. It's a tough place to put a referee and an official into. And we're going to have a sideline report coming up in about a minute or so. So we'll get to Evan once we get a nice little stoppage here. But a nice ball played in from the Crusaders, and they were looking for a handball, but no dice. The Crusaders were.
There was no way they can move the hand. That is why they don't call it, because it's judgment. They touched the ball with the hand, but the ball was so close.
And the Crusaders, and the Crusaders are looking to attack once again. This is a furious attack from the Crusaders. Couple of attacking chances, and Adeosen taken down, no call. And the Crusaders are looking to attack once again.
Ooh.
And ricocheted off of the Maroons. Capitosto. Played up ahead by Abedian. It's Matthew Coe who plays that to the middle of the field, and Capitosto kicked that one out, far side, as the Maroons look to counterattack. He was looking for Max Lopez on that far side, but nothing happened. So we will send it down to Evan Lotz with a sideline report. Evan.
As you can see, towards the beginning of this half, all the momentum was held quite strongly there by Chicago, but now everything's starting to shift around here. The Capital Crusaders have had a lot more attempts towards the goal there, and I'm expecting to see quite a shocking end to the end of this first half here. There's been 2 shots on goal for Chicago and 2 shots on goal for the Capital Crusaders here. Back and forth, I've been listening to some of the coaches here. To my left here, we've been listening to the Capital Crusaders. They're talking a lot to forward Trevor Collins and defenseman Brandon Wu, making sure they are getting into position in the right time. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Evan, for that great sideline report.
And I'm agree with him. They must be stopping somewhere. Lopez take care of that. And there you see there is another substitution coming in for the Crusaders, checking in. Number 12, letting the balls go out. And the Maroons the hostilities began so early in the game. So
it's Tyler Wycheck waiting to check in as the Maroons have the ball far side and looking for a runner into the box. That ball will be played off at the front of the net, so it'll be a kick for Neiswanger, and Wycheck will come into the game for the Crusaders.
I think he's checking out number 7, right?
Jamie Robson will check out for the Crusaders. So that's Wycheck in for Robson.
He's by man. It's the same position. So just giving some fresh air, if you want to call it like that, or maybe warming.
So it'll be a free kick from Neiswanger and played to the middle of the field, taken away by the Maroons, and they'll look to counterattack. Isaiah Holquist, the nice boot, but Capitosto will recover. That ball works its way far side for the Maroons. 22:44 left to go here in this first half. No score from Stag Field in Chicago, Illinois, here at the University of Chicago. Ball be played in, Capitosto to the middle, and a nice pass into Deosen.
It's offside.
And that ball, my goodness.
It's offside, doesn't count.
Yeah, that ball, they would call that offsides as the flag was up on the far side, but really beautiful shot nonetheless.
Yeah, but the goalkeeper saw there was a flag up, so they didn't do any effort to stop that shot. And the player say he's coming from outside to their out of the line. So for me, it wasn't an offside. It's a questionable call anyway. It's the first goal, if you want to count it like that. It's a warning for the Crusaders because they must be stop that shots.
And they counterattack real quick, but
yes,
ball will roll too far, so it'll be a throw-in for the Maroons on the near side, deep in their own territory. Isaiah Holquist with the throw-in, and that one will just be kicked deep. Headed out by Brandon Wu. That one will look all the way far side, and a nice streak across midfield for the Maroons. The Maroons look to counterattack. Matthew Coe now with the ball. And Coe will put a nice runner in.
Ooh.
And oh, what a nice play. Great idea there to send that one into the middle of the box by the Maroons. And they look to keep on the pressure on the far side. He'll play that one in, but nobody home for the Maroons. So the Crusaders will just send that one deep. And it'll work its way back to midfield, recovered by the Maroons. The Maroons will work that one far side, and crafty pass there. Ricocheted off of a couple people and headed up forward. Kind of a ping-pong match here between the ball, but that one will be recovered by the Crusaders. Looks like they kind of lost where the position of the ball was. The Crusaders did, but no harm, no foul as Andre Abedian to Carter Romero, and Romero will get that one taken away. Good defense there by the Crusaders, but one back by Isaiah Holquist, and Holquist probes, and a nice pass in there from Carter Romero, but kicked out by the Crusaders, and
ooh,
that'll be a foul on the Crusaders. That's number 14, Trevor Collins with the foul.
In the yard 24. But it's a good opportunity. And, you know, when they get it nearest to the yard 10, they have always two men against one, double team. Every people who has the ball, they always do double team. So if I was this number 17, I will send the ball to the second post and recenter to other person to get it another opportunity to score. So it's a good chances for the Maroons to score in this one.
It's Adeosun with the free kick, and he'll kick that one in. Kind of a dangerous place, but oh, that one did just curl too far in for Niswonger, and Niswonger will make the save. So Niswonger will have the goal kick.
And another substitution coming in by the Crusaders, number 30. And it's funny because the Maroons doesn't do anything at all for changing the starters. I think they believe they have enough stamina to continue playing with these weather conditions.
Yeah, that's Matt Shepper awaiting to check in for the Crusaders. Ball will be controlled by the Maroons, so the Maroons will play that one near side. That's Isaiah Holquist. That's Isaiah Holquist taken away and booted up quite a bit to Romero, but played out. Looks like a foul will be called against the Chicago Maroons.
Funny that the game is physical and we don't have any calls at all from fouls. Like, is this the 8 or the 7 they're calling? That is not too questionable calls, maybe decisions, perhaps.
It hasn't quite felt physical though between these two teams, not yet.
Because we are here, but believe me,
well,
over there.
but it's still. I mean, neither team is really getting chippy yet. It's still 0-0, so no reason to take any chances. As Niswonger will kick that one from about midfield, read pretty well by the Maroons, and Adeosun with the counterattack, and Maroons still have the ball, and a nice runner in there for Adeosun. That one from Andre Abedian. That'll go off of the Crusaders, so it will be a throw-in for the Maroons, and the Maroons will throw it in quickly. They want to continue to attack. Kept in far side by the Maroons, and the Maroons continue to look to attack. And that one kicked in deep. Clever kick, and oh man, that took quite a shot at Wesley Coleman. right in the face. But play continues as Adeosun will have that one taken away by the good defense from the Crusaders, and a really nice slide tackle there to take away possession. That ball in for Romero, but two players collided and Romero couldn't get very much head on the ball. So well played by the Crusaders once again. Once again taken away by the Crusaders. So that one will be kicked, and that'll be a foul. So the fouls are coming a little bit quicker now as the game has progressed. And Holquist with the ball. He'll shoot that one into the middle. Typically, the Maroons like to substitute at around the 10-minute mark. Could be a different strategy. The Crusaders might want to try to platoon instead of the Maroons who want to try to work a similar pattern every single one of their games. The Crusaders might want to try to platoon and try to keep their guys fresh. What are your thoughts?
Actually, I think you're right, because I see three players warming up, and now another call from the referee, and here comes the substitution. But I see three players warming up on the side, so that's really good point of view taken. And you must be warm, because with this weather you could have an injury so easily on the legs or maybe the ankles.
So this one will be a free kick by Justin Neiswanger, the goalie. So the goalie will be taking the free kick from pretty deep, but he'll just tap that one away. So that ball will be played in for the Crusaders, and the Maroons pop that one up into the air. The Crusaders recover.
And you see the strategy on that shot. All the Maroons is going to be covering, and only two players remain to take the breakaway. And instead of transition, the Crusaders only have a line of three players now. They are giving advantage another player as defensive to midfield.
Well played that was Scott Lick, the defenseman for the Maroons. Helped take the possession away from the Crusaders. So we've seen good defense from both teams so far, and that's kind of one of the keys, is who's going to be able to break that defense first.
I think it could be with one mistake, because both teams are too strong in the defense. So any mistake, any ball bounced or just slippery, somebody fell down, could be the difference. And now you can see there is another player warming up from the Crusaders, number 3, waiting to enter. And number 30 is too static, is not warming. So when he get in, maybe he's going to be so cold. No cold, the water is like the body cold.
It looks like Tristan Bentley is the player down, getting ready.
Ooh.
But beautiful play from Romero, and oh my goodness, fantastic individual effort from Carter Romero by the Maroons, and that one kicked in by Abedian, ricocheted off of one of the Crusaders. That was Capitosto in the middle with that shot. And nicely played in once again by the Maroons, but just can't quite get anything on that header, and Neiswanger will take that one out in the middle of the air. And now we have our first Chicago Maroons substitution looking to come in. That's Josh Schofield.
Yep.
Number 12 for the Chicago Maroons.
On the last play, I figured like he tried to get into like a hot knife on butter and almost getting, but it was complicated or too hard for him getting to 3 defenders, and he figured out how to get in, and they take it away the ball. But there is a good play, and now they have a free kick from the Crusaders in an angle. It's maybe 21 yard perhaps, or maybe 16 yard.
Yeah, with 13 and a half minutes left to go, this looks like a really good opportunity for the Crusaders to try to strike and break that 0-0 tie.
See, they're playing to the offside, so it's so risky. Any mistake will be giving the advantage to the Crusaders. Let's see how the defense of the Maroons handle this opportunity.
So the free kick for the Crusaders is up, and that one just punched away by Katsimpalis.
I like the way he dives, just fisted the ball and caught all the opportunity. And now, finally, it's checking in number 30 and number 12.
So number 12, Josh Schofield, will come into the game for number 27, Carter Romero, and
Number 10.
number 30, Matt Shepper, will come in for number 10, Daniel Bunchu.
And he got I don't know if it's a casket or just covering the hand. But
Possibly just a bandage to cover up some injury. You can play with a hand injury in soccer. And it'll be a goal kick, or a free kick, or a corner kick, rather.
Yep.
Goodness. Try all three of them. One of them will work. But that will be recovered by the Crusaders.
Oh.
And that'll be a no call on Matthew Coe. And the Maroons are counterattacking. A lot of contact there between the two, but play will continue as Adeosun is on the near side and is probing. It sends that one in. Nice Wonger had to actually come down and make a save on that play.
Actually,
that was a crafty play from Adeosun.
Yeah, and I think he wasn't expected to contact the ball like that. For the tour he was out of balance. He was maybe thinking putting the ball on the air to the far post. Unfortunately, he can't do it well. And another substitution coming in from the Maroons.
Yeah, Gary Zhao is scheduling to come in, as well as Bryce Millington. And number 3, Tristan Bentley, will also substitute for the Crusaders at the next dead ball moment that we get.
Oh!
Great defensive backline work once again by the Maroons to alleviate any attacking threat by the Crusaders, and that's kind of been the story for both teams, is that back line has really stopped any forward progress by the Maroons and the Crusaders as well for both teams. So 10:56 left to go here in this first half. Still 0-0 is your score here at Amos Alonzo Stagg Field in Chicago, Illinois, on the south side of Chicago, as it were. And here come the substitutions. Gary Zhao and Bryce Millington will come into the game, as well as Tristan Bentley. And coming out for the Maroons looks like number 17, Adeosun, will come out, as well as...
I think it's Max Lopez? No.
Max Lopez will come out of the game as well. And number 9 for the Crusaders, Chewy Gordon, will come out of the game. So we've had a couple mass substitutions, and this is a great opportunity to send it down once again to Evan Lotz with a sideline report. Evan, what have you noticed down here sideline since we last talked to you 15 minutes prior?
All right, thanks, guys. I'm listening here. I've been spending a lot of time over here on the Capital side. That's where we've seen a lot of the action and been happening this half. And the name of the game is pressure, pressure, pressure. Pressure Chicago into making bad plays. Pressure Chicago into giving up the ball. That's what I'm hearing here. I've spent some time over on the Chicago side, also listening to them talk about what happened and why that goal was called off. And I'm sure you guys already broke it down already, but that goal was called off for offsides earlier. Check in with you guys at halftime.
Thank you, Evan, once again. Great sideline report as the Maroons look to settle the game down with 9 minutes and 14 seconds left to go in the first half. And I think Evan hit the nail right on the head. Both teams are really trying to force mistakes from the other back line and take advantage of those mistakes as ball works far side. You know, it kind of seems like the person who makes the most mistakes, and that shot just a little bit too high.
I felt like the Crusaders are so comfortable expecting to receive all the pressure from the Maroons, and the Maroons is too putting more pressure, but the only thing is you put it too much pressure in the offensive, maybe you will have an issue to stop the transition smoothly to the offense to defense, and they have a breakaway, and the Crusaders, that is what they're taking for. They were waiting any mistake. Both teams are waiting any mistake for each one. So let's see how it ends. Only 8 minutes remaining on the first half. Everybody says it's a boring game. No, it's not. It's too much strategy, too physical. It's hard to play with these conditions, but they're doing so well so far.
Do you think some of the problems could be them playing the same formation, kind of getting in the way of each other from striking?
Yes, because you have 2 blocks. You can see how the Crusaders have 2 blocks to stop the strikers, and the Maroons only have now they are attacking with 5 players. That is not enough to defeat 8. So they have 3 players advantage. But they're taking care of the midfield, waiting for a breakaway. Another substitution, checking in number 8 by the Crusaders. Checking
Calvin
out.
Saunders will come into the game for the Crusaders, and I believe that's
10, I think?
14.
Yeah, sorry.
That's Trevor Collins coming out of the game. So
I'm receiving some instructions from the head coach, of course.
Well, he's one of those guys that kind of subbed in early, so I believe that's the first substitution of the game that is substituting a substitute.
Well,
if you will.
Sounds strange, but it is.
I don't know. I think I just confused everybody. That's okay. As the Crusaders look to try to get the ball out of their own zone in the attack. Good pressure there from the Maroons, and they force a turnover. It was number 4, Gary Zhao, to force that turnover, and he'll kick that far side, or near side. Isaiah Holquist looks to dance around and try to create something. Sends that ball in, but well played by the Crusaders. So the Crusaders will look to counterattack. Number 3, Tristan Brentley, was on the counterattack, but good defense had to pull up. But they had a great streaker in Calvin Saunders, and that's a lot of contact between the 2 players. And it looks like there will be a
yes, of course,
penalty assessed. That's a yellow card. Our first discipline handed out in this game is to the Crusaders. Surprised, I mean, that it took this long to get some yellow cards called into this game.
Well, actually, this is the strongest foul we ever seen so far. But this is what happens. He just touched the ball, and the other guy slides and arrived late. That is why they hit it, and they're showing the yellow card. It looks so hard. It wasn't so hard, but it's a precision from the referee. So I'm agree with him. That is the way it's supposed to be, letting know all the teams. I'm going to be here for if you do it once again, I'm going to show you a yellow card. So let's see how they react.
Now, with only just over 6 minutes left to go, the Maroons throw the ball in, and they're looking to counterattack. Gary Zhao tapped the ball, and that ball will be, looks like...
It's a dangerous play.
Is that possibly a foul or a handball?
It's a foul.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a foul.
That's what I thought.
They raised the boot too high. That is a dangerous goal. There is a dangerous play.
A bit like a high stick in hockey. It's kind of dangerous.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't want to get anybody hit in the face or anything like that.
Because you're showing the spikes, and if you boot that, you're receiving an impact on the shin guard, and will be like a hard.
Yeah, that can definitely be dangerous. So it will lead to a goal kick from Niswanger. Recovered well by the Maroons, and they look to counterattack. Actually slowed down by Matthew Coe, and maybe a little surprised by what Matthew Coe was trying to do. He didn't exactly have numbers pressing forward, but nonetheless, the Maroons will recover and once again look to attack. Isaiah Holquist, and that's Tyler Wycheck colliding, and a lot of contact between the 2 of them. They kind of collided and fell all over each other as we have another substitution for the Crusaders. Number 22, Brandon Frank, is coming into the game for the Crusaders, taking out number
5.
Number 5, yes, Brandon Wu.
On the last play, you can see a 360 spin with the ball in the possession. What a skill he showed up, and the Maroons must be take care of him. And now what they call it, a handball? No, I'm not really sure what the ref called. But let me tell you something.
It was a handball. You were right.
And they don't do any signs. What is they calling? Just lift the arm. And it's a little complicated because they don't let them know exactly what is the foul. Anyway.
So the Crusaders look to counterattack. 4 minutes and 12 seconds left to go here in this first half. No score, but not for lack of trying from the 2 teams. Here in beautiful Chicago, Illinois, Amos Alonzo Stag Field, home of the Chicago Maroons. And the Maroons look to counterattack or to attack and get onto the board. A nice kick in, but well played by the back line once again, and that's kind of been the story of the game, as that kick just a little bit wide, so that'll be a goal kick for Niswanger.
And the coach for the Maroons says somebody touch it and deflect the ball, so he wasn't agree with the referee that's giving the goal kick instead of giving a corner kick. So it's good that you put in a little more pressure as a head coach over the referees, making better effort to calling the game.
And that one will be a foul assessed to the Maroons at about midfield. A lot of contact. The amount of contact is kind of picked up here in this last 5 minutes or so.
He received the impact on the back of the lower back, and you can see it's like a limping, because with this condition, every contact hurts twice. Believe me. Even you're warm after playing.
Oh, and what a scary ball in by the Crusaders. That was probably their best chance tonight, but well played by Katzimpalis. That ball went through about 5 different players. Nobody ended up touching it, and Katzimpalis just made the save, but great chance there from the Crusaders. And yeah, that was probably their best chance so far here tonight, with only 2 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in this match.
Well, you can
in
see,
the first half.
You can see why. The number 22 is a straight defender, so he doesn't expect the balls getting to. He could head up and score, but he doesn't expect the balls getting through the 2 defenses, but fight a bounce. So that's what I told you. Any mistake could be the difference so far in this first half.
And Abedian takes that one, and he'll pop that up to set up the offense, and that ball in, it's a pretty good ball in. Looks like he was looking for Bryce Millington on that play for the Maroons, but well played by Justin Neiswanger, and Neiswanger will just boot that one high in the sky.
Number 28 for the Crusaders, waiting for check-in.
Yes, that's Shane Niemeyer.
Ooh. Oh. Number 4 from the Maroons, showing so really skills, and now they got a breakaway. Oh!
And a nice play there from Josh Schofield. Looks like that'll be a throw-in as the ball went out of the near corner for the Maroons. So looking to attack is Matthew Coe. Matthew Coe pops that one into the middle, and a great diving save there from Neiswanger. We just hit the under-minute mark, so another great chance, possible chance there for Matthew Coe and the Chicago Maroons. But once again, that defense is so hard to crack by the by the Crusaders.
I like how they get it to the end line, try to center, and the goalkeeper by the Crusaders so accurate on the meeting. He was sharp and stopped the possibility for the Maroons. And here comes the
Oh goodness! Contact!
Yeah.
Contact between one of the forwards and the goalie. That was Tristan Bentley who hit into Katzimpalis, and a little bit of contact there. But it'll just lead to a throw-in, and there's, once again, the Crusaders are going with the deep throw-in strategy with the long run with only 10 seconds left to go, and that's a great throw-in.
5, 4,
and the ball is, I don't know where.
1.
And that'll be the end of the first half here from Amos Alonzo Stag. 0-0 is your score. So we'll do a brief recap here of the game, and then we'll send it down to Evan, who is awaiting the halftime. So, Sergio, a lot of great chances for both teams, but 0-0 is your score. What kind of changes do you want to make going into the second half for both of these teams to try to take advantage?
First, if I was the Maroons head coach, I will change my formation to a little more offensive. Instead of have 4-4-2, maybe 3-5-3, and they will do the difference. And from the Crusaders, they are playing so good. The last opportunity almost scored and ends like a goal. So I exactly will be amazing the total of plays they have. So we have some stats here after.
We'll go through that after here in a second, but now we want to send it down to Evan Lotz with a sideline report. And Evan, what did you hear from going into halftime for these two teams?
On both sides in this first half here, 0-0 is your score. I've spent a lot of my time over on the Capital side because we have seen a lot of time playing in that. Is my microphone not on? My apologies. I've spent a lot of my time over on this Capital side. That's where most of the action has been happening. I know Coach Yost has been talking with their boys a lot to make sure they pressure and get into the Chicago zone. Thank you. We'll be back after halftime.
All right, and like Evan Loach said, we will be back after halftime in about 10 or so minutes. You're listening to Maroons. This is the Maroons Broadcast Network. We'll be back after a short break. And welcome back to Amos Alonzo Stagg Field here in beautiful Chicago, Illinois, home of the University of Chicago Maroons. Half one has been full and halftime is over. We are beginning the second half. 0-0 is our score, and a really entertaining first half as we're looking to have that same from the second half as well. The Maroons are donning their white, maroon letters, and maroon trim, and the Crusaders are donning their almost like navy blue / gray uniforms with white lettering and white trim. Now, Sergio, what did you notice from that first half that can apply? Yeah, what kind of stats did you notice from the first half that you see change and applied in the second half as well?
Actually, the shots but each period, the Capital University only have 1, University of Chicago 8, corner kicks, Chicago 2, and Capital University with 1. 1 yellow card at minute 38-31 by the Crusaders, and the goalkeeper from the Crusaders being the strongest man so far with 3 saves, 3 important saves. So far that is the stats, and let's see how it goes because the game is going to be more physical as we saw.
Yeah, the Chicago Maroons are going from left to right, Crusaders right to left, and the Maroons are attacking into the Crusader zone, and they're trying to move the ball into the box. They work that ball near side over to Scott Lick, and Scott Lick pops that ball into the box, but that one will be kicked away by good defensive work. So Stacy Ryman will be running into the box and kicked out of bounds by Greg Knox. So that will be the first corner kick for the Maroons of this first half. Great opportunity here for the Maroons to try to attack this Crusader defense.
Yeah, and you can see now the Maroons is meeting a diamond as a defenders, letting 2 players in behind covering the last player from the Crusaders, and someone else is waiting for any rebounds could be possible to shoot them, and the Crusaders is taking a little trouble over there to reveal or to relieve that pressure.
Oh, my goodness.
And what I told you.
What a fantastic ball into the box. I believe that was Carter Romero who popped that one up, and a couple of guys collided in that, and Neiswanger didn't exactly have a good look at the ball, but Max Lopez continues to attack, and Neiswanger with the save there, but fantastic opportunities there. About a minute-long stretch of Maroon activity at attacking that net. Great job by the Maroons.
Yeah, now the transition is 3 against 4. The Maroons is coming back for attacking, and they have a good chance on this breakaway with Max Lopez open side by side.
Yeah, now the Maroons are counterattacking. Adeosen with the ball, and he'll pop that one way far out. I believe that's Isaiah Holquist out there on that far side. And that ball deep in, and a beautiful, oh, what a great header there for Max Lopez.
He was out of balance, but he can contact the ball and put it just exactly to the position of the goalkeeper. That's the strongest player. Justin doing the best possible way to continue this tie of zeros. Unfortunately for the Maroons, they are knocking so hard in this, 3 minutes they're starting the game?
Yeah, we're down to 41-16 left to go in the second half, and these minutes have been dominated by the Chicago Maroons going forward. The Crusaders really need to respond and take care of the ball and try to get into the counterattacks and get into the offensive zone.
I think the instructions from the head coach of the Maroons is scoring as a locker room goal, that they call it in the 5 minutes after coming back from the halftime, that called the locker goal. So let's see if they can do it, because the Crusaders looks a little no concentrate at all, but with the time running on will be better, and it's starting to be playing a little more defensive than they're doing now.
Good defense there from Scott Lick just to kick that one away. Be a throw-in from Moskovic.
Uh-oh.
Rather, Greg Knox with the throw-in, but a great runner into the box. And
no,
I believe that will be a
Questionable
No call. That'll be a no call. Chewy Gordon with a fantastic run into the box.
Yeah.
And there was quite a bit of contact, and Chewy Gordon fell down. And wow, my goodness, what a turn of events there.
The defense from the Maroons just pull it from the arm, but he overact that field. That is why they don't call it. If they don't overact that field, there will be the penalty. There is all the bench of the Crusaders requesting that call it like a foul. It wasn't called for that reason, and they caught a good opportunity by the Crusaders. Let's see the response of
and a beautiful
Maroons.
touch pass into the box, and that'll be a foul against Adeosun. But another Maroon attack into the box. They're really getting into the box at will, and they're forcing Niswanger to make a lot of tough saves.
I think this game is going to be back and forward for both teams. So let's see how they respond now. The Crusaders, the Maroons already respond, and they got a fault against them. So it's a good game so far.
So the Maroons will recover that Niswanger goal kick for just a second, and the ball changes hands a couple times there. But that one will be played ahead by Jamie Robson. And it's kind of a foot race, but that one will be won out by Stacy Ryman. Kind of hit high up into the air there. And Andrea Bedian with the ball. He works that far side. So they look to counterattack once again. And they work that ball into Adeosun. And Adeosun kicks that one over to Coe. That one goes high up into the air. Matthew Coe recovers that one for the Maroons, and the Maroons look to continue to attack. Scott Lick with the ball now. Scott Lick pops that one over to Matthew Coe, and Matthew Coe, the ever-dangerous striker for the Maroons. And I think Scott Lick was trying to center that pass, get that ball into the front of the box, but kind of kicked that one. I'm not entirely sure what happened. I think he might have overthought it a bit, and maybe possibly it slid around.
He doesn't put the right angle of the foot to center the ball. And now the Crusaders is taking the strategy to attack from the nearest side. This will be the left side, and they have two attacks so far from this side. One calling in a questionable call about a penalty, possible penalty call. And if I was the coach of the Maroons, will be taking care of that situation.
So that'll go for a throw-in for the Crusaders, and the Crusaders retain possession after that throw-in. Tap that one over to the back line, and the back line tried to play that one up, but Matthew Coe steps in and takes that one away for the Maroons, and Andrea Bedian is streaking, pops that one in, but well played by Dominic Zumponi. Ball played in by Scott Lick.
Ooh.
And Scott Lick
could be a yellow
takes
card.
down Greg Knox, and
no
card and discipline assessed, but it will be a free kick for Niswanger and the Crusaders. 37:05 left to go in the second half. 0-0 is your score here at Stagg Field, home of the Chicago Maroons. Capital Crusaders looking to come into the Maroons territory and take one. Great kick in there from Niswanger. And the Crusaders are attacking. Lost a little bit, and nice play from Matthew Coe just to kick that one away, alleviate some pressure, get the defense coordinated and organized here with a throw-in from Greg Knox. And, nice defensive play there. That was a fantastic offensive push there from Tristan Bentley.
Just in time to block this shot.
His pace has definitely picked up quite a bit. The Crusaders are really trying to attack the Maroon zone.
It's putting more pressure over the Maroons. Let's see if they can handle off. And now Lopez doing a great effort, putting so much pressure over Justin.
Max Lopez definitely forced a tough play, and that one will go off of the Maroons on the far side. So it'll go for a throw-in for the Crusaders. That one won back by the Crusaders, about near far side of the midfield. And the Crusaders look to set up their offense here. It'll work its way over to Greg Knox, and Greg Knox surveys the field. Great defensive play there from Scott Lick, and the Chicago Maroons are on the counterattack. A nice centering pass, but not able to get much on it, and Adeosun.
Too much rebounds.
Yeah,
courtyard. But it's caused because the attacking tried to get into the defense, stop them, and finally Justin getting in and kick it out so hard, midfield, passing midfield so much easy. And now you can see the Maroons is doing 3 connections, 3 passing straight, and
Matthew Coe with the ball now, and he's ever so dangerous over to Andre Abedian. Andre Abedian plays that one all the way out their far side, and Maroons work the way into the box, and that one will just be booted away deep by the Crusaders. Little bit of a head war there, but one out by the Crusaders. So Neiswanger will settle the ball down a little bit and kick that one from goal. And it's a deep kick across the middle of the field. Went from, and a foul there from Scott Lick. Scott Lick's kind of had a couple fouls here, and he's had a rough couple minutes.
Well, let me tell you what happened. He just pushed a little bit, and the guy, the number 7 from the Crusaders, Jamie Robson, just fell down like in the penalty. They don't call it, and they are overacting. And we have one substitution waiting for the Crusaders, number 14, Trevor Collins.
And a beautiful ball into the box, well headed away by the Maroons, and Adeosun just looks to work that one out, and he falls down, but it will be off of Adeosun. So Trevor Collins will come into the game now.
Who's checking out?
I don't know. It almost seems like they don't know that there's a substitution coming in. I believe that's, who's that, number 3?
Maybe 4. I'm not really sure. It's
number 3. It's Tristan Bentley coming off.
So you can see now the Crusaders is putting a lot of more pressure, and every time any player from the Maroons has the ball, it has 2 against 1.
And that was a really deep throw in. It will go for a goal kick. So Cats and Paulus will have the goal kick here with 33:07 left to go in the second half. 0-0 is your score on the Maroons Broadcast Network.
Oh, see, number 25 doesn't feel comfortable with the gloves going nearest to the sideline, just throwing the gloves. That I think that is a little mistake when you're going to throw in the ball. But anyway, he already did that. Yeah, with this weather, come on, your fingers will be freeze. I will not feel in anything.
Yeah, well, perhaps that's a good thing. Oh my goodness, what a beautiful ball in there from the Crusaders.
Too risky.
Fantastic counterattack there from the Crusaders.
But too risky because the defense is supposed to be cutting early because he waits the ball's bounding and they have the pressure of the striker of the Crusaders.
And the Crusaders are looking to continue to push, and a beautiful ball in. That will go for a Crusader corner kick. So the Crusaders are definitely dominating these last couple minutes, really been getting on the counterattack, and I think it was a great timely decision to plug in a new fresh body out there when you've got all the momentum going forward.
And I want to see what is the response of the Maroons because they must be relieving the pressure. I never see receiving that pressure so hard.
So that ball in, kicked out by Katzimpalis, and it's a 50-50 up in the air. And, oh, man, kicked up by Jamie Robson, way out of bounds. But that was a beautiful ball into the box from Greg Knox. He's done a fantastic job of delivering balls in on those corners. And, my goodness, a good chance there for the Crusaders.
Let's see the response from the Maroons. I want to see how they respond because all we respond with anything. Oh, my God.
And that'll be a foul on Adeosun, and that'll be a yellow card as the official is reaching into his pocket. So Adeosun with discipline.
Well, I think it is a little strictly because he doesn't do on purpose, and he tried to reach the ball. Unfortunately, they take the leg of the defender instead of the ball, so there was painted in yellow that I'm not agree with that, but they might be showing some discipline over there.
Looks like a couple substitutions will be preparing to check in as that ball in for, Katzimpalis, but
that is
Crusaders were able to attack. Yeah, it could have been a foul.
Yeah, because he's touching the goalkeeper when he rises and tries to get the ball. That is a foul, but the referee doesn't call it because it doesn't go in through. So, 1-on-1.
It'll play on, but the Maroons will have a couple substitutions coming in at the next dead ball. Josh Schofield and Nate Johnson will be coming in
the candidate is number 17. He received the yellow card, so I would take it away. Hey, that is a hand.
Well, there are a couple of defensive players.
They call it
and
hand.
that'll be a handball assessed to the Crusaders. So the Maroons will take over with a free kick. And they'll kick that one over to Stacy Ryman to Scott Lick. Works the ball near side. Scott Lick back to Ryman.
And now we see the Crusaders is waiting from the midfield to the back for any mistake of the Maroons. So far, it's not made in anyone yet.
And a beautiful deep ball and looking for Max Lopez, but that will go for a save for Neiswanger. And we will go down to Evan Lotz for a sideline report. Evan, what do you have for us?
Thanks, guys. And I was taking a look over here. About 10 minutes ago, you saw Chewy Gordon driving onto this net here, and he seemed to fall down or slide or be taken down. I was listening in to both the linesman over here and the coach. They were talking about how he never dives, but in this instance, it looked like he was taken down. No call was on the play. Play continued on here. A lot of possession I am seeing is still in the capital zone here. Pressure, hard work, and continuing to persevere is what I'm hearing from these capital benches. Thanks, guys. Back to you.
And thank you, Evan, for a great sideline report.
I'm agree with he doesn't dive, but on that dive looks like overacting. That is why they don't call it a penalty. So I'm agree with the coach says he doesn't dive, but on this one they dive a lot. so sorry for that.
Yeah, and that'll be a handball for
Offside.
or offsides
Offside,
there. Kind of looked like a handball to me, but
Well, it is, but they raised the flag, so there was first the offside instead of the handball.
nonetheless, the Maroons will take over. They'll work that over to Scott Lick. And Scott Lick will survey the field, works that in to Matthew Coe, and Matthew Coe will pop that one over to, that's Capitosto. And Matthew Coe with the ball once again. Kind of took a weird ricochet off of Jamie Robson, but Matthew Coe retains possession, and that one will be kicked out of bounds. So we'll have the substitutions in now.
Checking
Josh
out.
Schofield and Nate Johnson will be coming into the game, and Schofield, or
Wait.
that is Scott Lick coming out of the game, and number 8, Andre Abedian, coming out as well. Actually, Scott Lick will remain in the game. He will throw in the ball, and
27.
Carter Romero will come out of the game.
I was expecting number 17 going out for the yellow card, but he's a striker, so he remains on the field.
Yeah. One will be played in. Matthew Coe retains possession, and there's a Deosen. And a Deosen kicks that one off, so it'll be a throw-in for the Chicago Maroons. 27:36 left to go in the first half. Still 0-0 is your score. I'm Alex Reed alongside Sergio Venegas and Evan Lotz. And that's Capitosto. Over to Stacy Ryman, and that'll go to Adeosun. One back by the Maroons, and into Adeosun. Adeosun, not much room to work with. He'll kick that one over to Matthew Coe, and Matthew Coe with a nice touch pass. Didn't intend for it to go to himself, but Matthew Coe bodies off, and a lot of contact, but it will go for a corner kick nonetheless. A well-deserved corner kick there from Matthew Coe, who did a lot of great work on that last set.
But you see, every time you get into the final line, they're always receiving pressure 2 against 1. And for the Crusaders, another substitution waiting to come in.
And number 30, Matt Shepper, will come into the game at the next dead ball. And Matthew Coe surveys. Tries to get that one in, and Adeosun with a beautiful ball into the box, and that one's still open, and a nice save there from Neiswanger, but another fantastic chance from the Maroons once again.
That is the response I was waiting for after that 2 attacks they're receiving, the Maroons for the Crusaders. And so far it's a good game. Both are coming back and forward, like I told early, and that's going to be the end of the game until maybe overtime and penalty kicks if we get into
who knows
that. We don't know.
Who knows, yeah. Well, what we do know is that the Maroons have the ball, and they're looking to strike, and that one will be an inadvertent handball off a deflection there. I mean, it kind of deflected off of one of the defenders' heads and smacked him right in the hand. So, unfortunate break there for the Maroons, but definitely not intentional.
Of course, it's too close, and you don't expect the ball's coming out to your hand, and they can move it. So it's a questionable call for the referee. Anyway, it's already called it, but they caught a good opportunity for a shot and maybe open the score.
Ball up for Scott Lick, and Scott Lick plays that one forward to Max Lopez. He's looking for Max Lopez, and Matthew Coe will bounce that one up.
With the face.
Yes, with his face. So it'll be a throw-in for Scott Lick, and Trevor Collins, a little contact there. But play continues on as Stacy Ryman kicks that one all the way over far side. Maroons retain possession over to Sam Drablos. And that one will work its way back to Ryman. And he pops that one into Matthew Coe, and Matthew Coe surveys and uses his body to kind of shield off, and that should be, there's a lot of contact from both sides, and it will be a foul assessed to the Crusaders. There was a little bit of a grab of the jersey from behind, and that's the foul that they are going to call against.
Jamie Robson is still on the floor after
and
that.
Robnan is still down on the ground after a rough collision there between the two parties, and I think Robson got the worst of that one.
But this is what it happens. He do a spin 2 times, 360, so they get a pulling from the defender of the Crusaders. Then Robs try to stop them. They dive, and they hit the shin guard, and that is why that kind of smashes, and he's out of the game for maybe checking that possible injury on the shin guard because it's so hard. And now 2 other players from the Crusaders waiting to check in, number 19 and number 8, and for the Maroons, number 21.
Luke Moraes and Calvin Saunders for the Crusaders, and that will be Bryce Millington for the Maroons. And that ball kicked in, and that's a goal! What a great goal there for the Chicago Maroons! 24-26 left to go, and the Chicago Maroons score. It is no longer 0-0. What a fantastic goal there for the Maroons. Matthew Coe with the strike. It was only a matter of time before you could keep Matthew Coe out of the scoring column, and what a beautiful goal there for the Maroons. 1-0.
After a rebound, he shot the ball far away from the opportunity of the goalkeeper from the Crusaders. And I don't know what is the goalkeeper from the Maroons going to celebrate. If the Crusaders renewed faster, they will be getting out of the goalkeeper. But anyway, the goal is in. What a perfect shot. And it's 1-0. And I like that.
Yeah, now this is the first time that we might see a little bit of a strategy change here from the Crusaders, as they're now down in kind of a hole here. Max Lopez with the ball on the near side, and he'll just pop that one back to Scott Lick, and Scott Lick will work that one over to Ryman, to Matthew Coe, and that one will go back to Scott Lick, and Lick will just kick that one deep.
Yes.
So 24 minutes and 8 seconds left to go in the first half, or in the second half. It is 1-0 Chicago Maroons over the Capital Crusaders.
And let me tell you something. The Crusaders are going to take in a lot of pressure because it's not important losing by 2 by 3. If you tie the game, we'll have overtime, but they are not losing. And now the Maroons will have the advantage to having more breakaways because everybody's going to throw in to put more pressure. And another substitution for the Maroons, 27 waiting to get in inside.
Yeah, number 27, Carter Romero, waiting to check in at the next dead ball. And the Crusaders will play that one in deep, and they're definitely in attack mode here. Well, we play high up into the air, kind of a 50-50 ball once again, and neither side has recovered it, but now the Crusaders recover it.
Here we go.
That's Matt Shepard with the ball, but taken away by Max Lopez, and Max Lopez will pop that one up to Dio Adeosun.
Number 12. Oh.
And Josh Schofield will recover that one, but That'll be kicked out of bounds. So number 27 for the Chicago Maroons, Carter Romero, will come into the game. And
checking out
looks like
10.
Matthew Coe, the scorer of that goal, will take a breather. I'd imagine that he'd come back in here pretty soon.
What a shot. What a shot.
Beautiful shot there from Matthew Coe to get rid of the 0-0. So 1-0. Yeah, what kind of changes do you expect?
Okay, I will be changing my formation once again. Oh, here comes the...
And another great runner from the Maroons, and the Maroons are looking to get on the board once again. A beautiful ball into the box, and that ball wasn't gone into Bryce Millington, but Millington couldn't settle that down, and the Crusaders are back on the counterattack.
I will be putting 4 strikers, 3 midfields, and 3 defenders. It doesn't matter. You're losing by 1, by 2. You must be trying to tie this game.
Yeah, this is kind of do or die time now for the Crusaders, as that ball kind of ricochets off the foot. It looked like he was trying to pass that one back, but it'll go off the foot of Greg Knox, who's had a pretty good game here tonight.
So
Max Lopez and Shepard collide there, but we play on as that ball will be kicked high up into the air over by the Maroons bench, but it'll be a throw-in for the Crusaders, and a deep one at that, headed out of any danger. The Maroons look like they wanted to retain possession, but it will be another throw-in for the Crusaders once again. 20:58 left to go in the second half, 1-0. Chicago Maroons over the Capital Crusaders, but the Capital Crusaders are in Maroon territory and looking to
launch deep. He's going to launch deep.
Yeah, he's going to throw in. That's Greg Knox with the throw-in, and he's going to throw in a long way. And, wow, what a deep throw-in headed out of there by the Maroons. And that one kind of tapped up into the air once again. Another chance into the box and kicked out really well by... That was number 13, Isaiah Holquist. Great idea from Isaiah Holquist, and right back at it once again. Nice Wonger. Plays that one way deep.
And you can see the coach requesting, don't move. Continue pressure. They relieve the pressure with that long shot, and now they're recovering, and the Maroons is striking to get a breakaway.
Yeah, great leak out there from Holquist, who plays that one over to Millington. Bryce Millington plays that one over to the left side, or the far side, to his left. And he'll just turn around and pop that one over. That's Carter Romero over there on that far side, and back to Carter Romero. And they survey the field, the Maroons do, and pop that one up. They're just taking their time, trying to get into a good offensive set here. They really want to attack, and there's no more rush here for the Maroons to try to score. There's no more, worry about it. They definitely want to get on the board once again, but not at the cost of any defensive advantage. As Josh Schofield, that's over to Max Lopez, and Max Lopez kicks that one in deep for the Maroons off of his left foot, though, and couldn't quite get that one to curl in where he wanted it to. I believe he was going for Carter Romero once again on that far side, but Lopez off of his left just couldn't quite get enough of it, but that one will be tracked down by Millington, and Millington will pop that one over. Streaking Maroons, and the Maroons look to attack once again. That one into the box, headed away by the Crusaders, and that one's tapped up. Two guys going at it in the middle of the field there. That's Nate Johnson, and that works near side. And that'll be a throw-in for the Maroons. 18:26 left to go in this second half. 1-0, Chicago Maroons.
The best friend from the Maroons is the clock at this moment, believe me. And the enemy from the Crusaders is the clock. Sounds strange, but it is what it is. So far, they need to do an effort to tie this game, and the Maroons, in that effort, they will try to do. The Crusaders will be extend the advantage by one more. And
the clock is that ever looming enemy for the defender, and that ever needing friend for the team that's ahead, isn't it?
If the second goal arrives, will be the nail of the coffin for the Crusaders. It sounds so hard, but it's so true.
And the Maroons will play that one up to Scott Lick on the near side. Lick surveys up to Josh Schofield. Schofield taken away by good defense from the Crusaders. That was Greg Knox. And he'll throw that one in immediately.
But I'm going to repeat because
the play continues. It looked like they kind of thought that play was going to stop. Yeah. The refs were kind of confused, but play continues nonetheless. It looked like they kind of wanted to get a substitution in there.
Yeah, that's what I think, and I hear like a
But I'm not entirely sure Greg Knox knew that, and he went immediately.
Yeah, of course.
But works its way back to Greg Knox nonetheless, and Greg Knox will pop that one back to his defensive line mate.
But even the players stopped playing because they were expecting the substitution. Well, the ball's still in, so.
Yeah, that one ball headed back to Bryce Millington, and Millington with a nice run-in and a couple of sliding players into each other.
And the Crusader player has the rough time. Look, he's taking time to get up.
Yeah, the Crusaders took the worst of that one.
Yep.
A lot of contact there on that slide tackle, but play will continue on, and both teams kind of seem lackadaisical since that near whistle. Neither team seems very focused, but Scott Lick, nonetheless, will play that one up to Max Lopez. And Lopez, that's just pure strength from Lopez. And he takes that one in, a beautiful ball in. And oh my goodness, almost misplayed by Niswonger. What a beautiful set there from Max Lopez. My goodness, is he strong.
Oh, he's so strong, reflecting the guy that tried to check in, then getting into the box. And then the goalkeeper from the Crusaders have hard trouble to stop it in 2 times, almost getting a rebound. And like the Sharks smelling the blood from the Maroons will be the second one. Let's see the reaction of the Crusaders.
The Crusaders are looking to counterattack, and there was a lot of contact between those two. Play will continue on, and Millington checked by the Crusaders, but deep into the Crusaders or into Maroon territory, and the Crusaders will retain possession, but. Yeah, Max Lopez held off about 3 guys on that last counterattack, and my goodness, there's a reason he's the main striker for this team. My goodness, he's strong.
He is, and too much skills. Ooh.
That one will be played deep, skillfully by the back line of the Maroons, and we've got a handful of substitutions.
Number 10 and 8 for the Maroons.
Matthew Coe and Andre Abedian will come back into the game, and Bryce Millington will come out. And we have a report from Evan Lotz. Evan, what do you have for us?
Guys. I'm taking a listen here into the Capitol bench, now down 1-0 after a brilliant goal there by the University of Chicago. The name of the game right now is desperation. They need to play man-to-man defense and spread out offense, trying to work a play, and I can hear them talking over here. They are trying to desperately construct a play to tie this game up and send it into extra time. Thank you.
Thank you, Evan.
Oh, let's see how they do.
And a nice counterattack with some fresh bodies for the Maroons. Matthew Coe, the scorer of that goal to make it 1-0 Maroons. Really nice pass in there, and unfortunately for the Maroons, Carter Romero couldn't quite get much on his foot there.
He doesn't expect the pass that way. And 3 substitutions coming in from the
Crusaders. Number 7, Jamie Robson.
3 and 9.
Number 3, Tristan Bentley, and number 9, Chewy Gordon will all be coming in to the game for the Crusaders. And coming off, looks like Cole Moskovic will come off of the field.
Number 15.
Yeah, number 5, Brandon Wu will take a seat, as well as number 19, Luke Moraes.
And number 8.
Yeah.
Andre Avedian. No, it's Calvin Saunders, right?
Calvin Saunders will come off as well.
And they're going to be launching so far. Oh, my God. If you get it into the box, it's going to be throwing so deep. Ooh.
And this is a deep throw-in, to say the least, but maybe a little bit too desperate there for the Crusaders. Really nice play in by the Crusaders, and they work that one back, looking to reset their offense a little bit, and that's a deep ball in to the far side. The Crusaders are really, really trying to desperately create something.
And here comes a breakaway.
Well taken away by the Maroons, and the Maroons are on the counterattack.
Oh.
I think they'll just play that one up and just try to reset the offense there, or reset their defense as well. Justin Neiswanger will just boot that one away. The Maroons recover and look to attack once again, and they're definitely being a lot more conservative with their offense.
Well, it's 2 against 5. It's almost impossible to get into. But now,
but they're also not sending their men in forward. They're keeping a lot of their guys back and really making sure that they're defensively sound. But the Maroons have definitely taken over control of this game with under 12 minutes left to go. And a beautiful ball into Abedian. And, oh, my goodness, there was contact between the goalie and Andre Abedian. And Abedian is very slow to get up. It looks like it will be a corner kick for the Chicago Maroons. But let's hope Andre Abedian is okay. We don't want to see any injuries happen here in the closing stages of this match.
He is, but that was the option. Just the goalkeeper dive, try to stop the shot. He do that, and here comes a corner kick.
And the corner kick in for the Maroons, and well played there from the Crusaders just to clear that ball momentarily, but back in once again the Maroons, and that one kicked way high out of play. So it'll be a goal kick for Justin Neiswanger. With 11:11 left to go in this second half, 1-0 is your score. Chicago Maroons over the Capital Crusaders.
And I like them. Oh, this is it.
And a beautiful run there from Matthew Cohen. It's a foot race between him and Neiswanger one out and clears that one away. What a great pass to set up Matthew Coe on an onside run.
And he was expecting that pass. That is why he run, dive, and stop. He becomes the hero that the Maroons doesn't have a more advantage. At least 2 other goals will be on the score if it wasn't for the goalkeeper from the Crusaders. What a performance so far for the goalkeeper.
Yeah, it's too bad that the offense hasn't been able to get anything going, because Neiswanger, I think, has been one of the players of the game here so far, keeping his team in it time and time again with great saves, great activity, and really sacrificing his body to help his team stay in it. Josh Schofield will return into the game for the Chicago Maroons. And Carter Romero will come out of the game.
And let me tell you one thing. That comment you say, the goalkeeper and the offense, is because the defense of the Maroons is so good, so accurate on every minute.
That'll be a foul.
No, that wasn't a foul.
A lot of contact, definitely no discipline handed out, but I believe that was Scott Lick who with the takedown there. So it'll be a free kick for Greg Knox. And this is a good opportunity for the Crusaders with under 10 minutes left to go. And that one, a good kick into the box. Well headed away by the Maroons. Chased down by Tristan Bentley. And that ball will go all the way out. So it'll be a Maroon throw-in. 9:15 left to go in the second half. 1-0 Chicago Maroons over the Capital Crusaders here at Stag Field in Chicago, Illinois.
So if the game ended like this, will we try to get an interview from Matthew asking how does it feel to score the only goal of the game and become like the hero from the Maroons? That is a hero so far.
Yeah, we certainly hope that we could get him as an interview. We'll have to see how this final 8 minutes or so goes, because the Crusaders are very, very spending a lot of a lot of time in the attacking zone for them, and they're making another substitution. Hunter Steiger will come into the game. And that looks like Tyler Wycheck will come out of the game for the Crusaders.
But let's see, because so far the Maroons is contain all the offensive of the Crusaders, so I like that. And only they must be transforming from the defense to attack and put it on the score to give in one more goal for the advantage and relieve the pressure.
That ball will be played up, and it's kind of a ricochet fest between the Maroons. Max Lopez had the ball briefly, but a nice little defensive play there. Powered the offense, but kicked away Once again, deep, and Matthew
this
Coe
kid.
taps the ball,
Woo!
and he's got a beautiful runner.
2 against 1.
He's got nobody to beat, and he kicks that one in, and it's a goal. Matthew Coe with his second goal of the night with 7:41 left. Chicago Maroons 2, Capital Crusaders 0. What a beautiful goal once again, and an individual effort from Matthew Coe. My goodness.
But this is what it happens. Max Lopez continue to play, follow him, and make him doubt to the defense. Is going to pass into Lopez. Even the goalkeeper do the same thing, and just touch it on the arm, behind of the arm, and they make it just an easy shot, just touching the far post and making a beautiful, slowly killing goal for the Maroons against the Crusaders. What a goal! He becomes the hero and could be the MVP of the game. So bad luck for the Crusaders. They were playing so good, but I like that the Maroons doing this, and this is the nail from the coffin of the Crusaders.
Yeah, Matthew Coe and Max Lopez are such a tough tandem to handle with.
Yep.
Sooner or later, they broke through of this really, really sound Crusaders defense, and nothing to hang your hat on for the Crusaders. Just a fantastic tandem, great back line for the Chicago Maroons, and they just I'd love to see them continue to fight on and try to even this game out for the Crusaders, but obviously the Maroons are a tough team and they've held them down all night long.
Those 2 players remind me the Brazilian team.
And another run out for Matthew Coe. And Matthew Coe takes that shot and looks like he could have probably gotten in a little bit deeper, but I like the idea. It was a good idea for Matthew Coe to shoot that one there.
It was the perfect one, but unfortunately they hit it with an effect. And I was telling you, these 2 players, Lopez and Cohen, reminds me the 2 players from Brazilian soccer team on the World Cup '94, Romario and Bebeto. They were so killing, and they play so far so good. You can put it Lopez like Romario. He was so skilling, and Bebeto always fitting to Romario. And this time, Cohen becomes the hero because he's so accurate and couldn't score the 3rd one and got a hat trick. And I like that. So far, 2-0. I don't see how the Crusaders can come back and tie this game.
Wesley Coleman out of the game, and pop Greg Knox back in to try to get some more offense. 6 minutes left to go here in this second half. Chicago Maroons 2, Capital Crusaders nothing. And this will be a free kick for the Maroons. Fantastic game here from Stag Field in Chicago, Illinois. And looks like the Maroons will come away with this one. But as they say, never over till it's over. A lot of contact between the 2 teams, and a nice ball up for Matthew Coe once again, and Matthew Coe will just have that one kicked out by Dominic Zupone.
And you will be asking why the defense is not looking so good from the Crusaders. Because they're trying to tie the game and give it more advantage because they put it more men on the offensive line instead of the defense. So they got a breakaway for that reason. They make it so easy. Coe scores that goal with that. What a speed, what a move. And what a leg skill he has.
Oh, my goodness. And you talk about leg skill. Max Lopez, once again, the beautiful display of footwork and precision just to get that ball onto the net.
Like Romario. Yeah. He reminds me too much like Romario. He was so skilled with the footwork. Amazing. And just touched it so barely.
And so strong, too. Yeah. Very strong.
If you want to make recently, Ronaldo Nazario de Lima. He plays from the Real Madrid on Barcelona too. He was so strong.
I love that. That's fantastic. Look back into the history books there. And I'm sure he'd be happy with that comparison himself.
Everyone will be happy. They tell you play like Ronaldo or Romario. They are good players. Even they won the World Cup. And it's amazing. He performs like that. So he behaves like that, and I like that. And all the people who's listening to us will say, I will browse who is those players. Go and reach it on YouTube, and you will see he's right with the footwork.
And there's Matthew Coe with another runner. You speaking about footwork, well, Matthew Coe has pretty good footwork himself and delivers that ball in for obedience. And what a big save there. What a save from Neiswanger, diving to his right. caught that ball with 2 hands. My goodness, it looked like a beating and had him beat on that far post.
You see how they fly? Literally, he flied and hang on from the crossbar almost there like a hero, like Spider-Man. And guess what? You can shoot down the lights, go home. That was the stop of the night. I don't see how they could be beat that stop. Unfortunately, he's losing 2-0. That is upsetting for him because he's doing a lot of beautiful game, and he's losing.
Yeah, I'd go out of my way. Besides maybe the last 10 minutes or so from Matthew Coe, he's probably had the performance of the night with so many great saves. He's kept his team in there. Neiswanger deserves a huge round of applause for that because he has done such a fine job in goal tonight. I mean, it very easily could have been a lot more than 2 goals scored.
And what a shot. Straight from the 28 yard, shooting straight to the goalkeeper. He given a rebound and almost a score by the Crusaders, and they give it a corner kick. But I'm agreeing with you. He deserves a standing innovation for his performance so far. And a substitution checking in number 19. Yeah, 19 for the Crusaders. Checking out.
That'll be Luke Moraes.
He removed the jersey.
For, I believe that's maybe number 7, perhaps? Jamie Robson?
He's not too happy. He's upset.
No, he's definitely not happy. He ripped off his jersey in disgust. And I would be really upset, too, if this was the way that my season ended. Katzimpalis with the goal kick. Tough. You kind of leave with your tails between your legs here if you're the Crusaders. Tough loss and tough pill to swallow. You really did play a fine game of soccer here tonight.
But that's not the attitude you must be showing to your coach. Come on, you're losing because you're not good. You're losing because the other team was better in 2 options, and you were doing a perfect game.
Mm-hmm. They really did a fine job of attacking here.
And defending.
We're just about to get to the 2-minute mark here left in this game. 2-0 is your score, and
it's a foul.
A lot of contact there from Matthew Coe behind, and that will be a free kick for Greg Knox.
You need to try to avoid that because you're giving a chances with a free kick and give you the possibility to score the first one, and then I can guarantee the Crusaders will be getting more options.
Oh, and speaking of options, that just did miss the high post there. My goodness, that was a crafty little play.
And just a little inches over the crossbar. I was expecting that will be hit the crossbar and maybe somebody will be receiving that rebound and score the first goal from the Crusaders. Unfortunately, it doesn't go like that. And the Maroons is still having with a 0 on the board. Ooh.
And there's a ball there for Matthew Coe. Is a lot of contact, but no call as Josh Schofield will run out far wide, and he'll just look to hold it and try to get rid of some time off the clock. Under a minute left to go here in this second half. Fantastic soccer game we have been able to witness here tonight. Kind of a fun chess match, especially in that first half. Kind of feel each other out. The 2 teams were very neck and neck, and fantastic game from Justin Neiswanger. The goalie for the Crusaders had a fantastic game in net. Unfortunately, a couple of fantastic goals there from the Maroons broke the tie, and with 22 seconds, it looks like that lead will stand for the Maroons, but fantastic game from both teams. Both teams have a lot to be proud of as the Crusaders will look to make one final push.
5, 4.
And let me tell you something. I'm going to phrase Magic Johnson when they lose the first game against the Bulls. They say, I can feel bad because I do my best effort. That's the Crusaders do. But unfortunately for the Crusaders, the Maroons do a perfect game, and Matthew Coe, oh my God, he's the MVP. 2 goals, that is all. That resumes the game.
And that is your ball game here. Maroons final is 2-0. Fantastic game from both sides. Matthew Coe was so good in scoring that first goal. That first goal was a header. Basically, he headed it to himself and got a great run off the box to the box, and they were able to really attack. And he beat the goalie near side and was able to just kind of, the ball just kind of dribbled in that first goal, and that second goal.
I prefer the second one because they show more speed, skills, and a gentle touch, just enough power to just go slowly. The ball's going into the goal and just touch the post. That you must need a lot of skill, a lot of touch on your boot to do that way. And you can see the face of frustration of the defenders try to reach the ball and stop it going in. Unfortunately, they go slowly. And what a performance. I think it wasn't him. Maybe Diaz will be raising up and say, here I am, I'm going to score. But Coho do the best thing possible. And like I told you, they look like a Brazilian team. Romario and Bebeto, that combination will kill anything in that World Cup.
Yeah, Max Lopez definitely deserves a lot of credit because he's been so good at attacking and also helping Matthew Coe get up there. He delivered passes up. He really was such a tough matchup to handle for so many teams this year. He did a great job of attacking and getting into the box and help Matthew Coe get a lot of goals.
You're ready for the interview.
And I think Evan has the interview, but let me tell you one thing. Unfortunately, for Justin, who was a goalkeeper, he do a performance standing. And we're going with Ivan.
Yeah, Justin Neiswanger did a fantastic job in net for the Spartans, for the Crusaders, as we will send it down to Evan Lotz with the interview with Matthew Coe, our MVP.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Matthew Coe, who scored 2 goals tonight. We're going to talk with him for a quick bit. Matthew, hard-fought game all the way here. You knocked the second half open about halfway through. Tell me how that felt.
It just felt really good, getting a good team win. Love my teammates, and I'm ready to get out again next week.
Enjoy the medal ceremony. Great. Good luck next week at Calvin College. All right, that's Matthew Coe, who got 2 goals tonight in this bout. I bet he's excited. Next week against Calvin College from the University of Chicago. Evan Lotz, have a good night.
And thank you, Evan Lotz, for that sideline interview with Matthew Coe. Definitely our MVP.
Yes.
2-0 Chicago Maroons. Any final thoughts on this game?
Well, if they continue performing like this, I believe they're going to be the champions. I don't see how they can stop them. They have a good balance between defense, midfield, and offense. And these 2 players are so good. And I think they have good communication. That is why there is success and so much easy to score. Even in this time, they only scored 2 goals. I was waiting for Diaz to score 1. But that's the reason for the goalkeeper, Justin, stopped that header and flight like Spider-Man, Superman, whatever you want to call him. He was so good, stopping the possibilities to get a higher scores here. Only 2, but could be 5 or 4 at least.
Yeah, well, fantastic game from both teams. The Capital Crusaders have nothing to hang their hats. 2-0 is your final score for the Chicago Maroons over the Capital Crusaders. We will be back here for the next game for the Chicago Maroons at Amos Alonzo Stagg Field. So long, everybody. Have a great night.
For your support of NCAA Championship.